Hi, I'm Sonia Grimes. I am the recovery coach and I am the creator of the Rapid Alcohol Recovery Method, which is a 6-week process that takes you through from the pain of the way you drink to peace and effortless freedom. I know that changing the way you drink is not hard. I know also that the methods you use to try to change the way you drink are the hardest ways. It's all got turned on its head. So how do I know what I do? For 28 years, I struggled with alcohol, and struggle just does not cover what was going on in my world. I am the single parent to the most amazing son, Christopher, you can see behind me. And for the first 16 years of his life, my most desperate wish was to be sober for him and for me, but primarily for him. And I tried everything that was out there. I even waved the odd candle, and of course that just went out. And everything I tried started with not drinking, not picking up the glass. And I failed over and over again. And every time I failed, I felt worse. I felt more of a failure. I felt more helpless. I felt more stupid. I felt more weak. And with all those feelings in place, I continued to drink. Now, 6 years ago, miraculously it seemed at the time, I suddenly became sober effortlessly. And I know how that sounds, but it is the truth, and it is the truth. And since then, I have made it my life's work to understand what on earth was going on, what on earth happened to allow me to change this, and how on earth it wasn't hard, because it wasn't hard, and it hasn't been hard from that day forward. We have alcohol in the house now, and I won't say I don't see it because I'm not blind, but I can just move it aside. It's nothing to me. I can be doing the washing up and there can be a leftover bottle of wine on the sink, and it's just something that's on the sink. Alcohol has no place in my life, no pull. So that's me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about you now. You drink in a way you don't like and you cannot stop. Sometimes, for dry January, stop October, for a detox or whatever, you can stay away from drink for a period of time, but then you always go back and you don't understand why. Some days it's easier than others not to pick up a drink, and again you don't understand why. You think you have a terrible relationship with alcohol, and you go into battle with alcohol around that relationship. You try to change the relationship with alcohol, and you can't, and you don't understand why. The Rapid Alcohol Recovery Method turns everything that you have read, heard, and not understood or understood on its head. Because there is a 3-step process you go through every time you drink that is the key to why you drink and how to let it go. And that's what I'm going to give you in this masterclass, along with talking to you about willpower, about why you can't break a habit, and then about how you go about getting the effortless freedom. And if it's not effortless, it's not freedom that you deserve. Okay. So the 3-step process that you go through every single time you drink when you don't want to is very simple. You think something that creates a feeling that you react to. You react to is picking up the glass. Let me get a glass here. You have a thought that creates a feeling, and alcohol is the reaction. Alcohol is the reaction to the thought and the feeling. It's the way you try to comfort it. So when you try to stop drinking by not picking up the alcohol, you are leaving the thoughts and the feelings that are causing you to reach for alcohol in place. So that is, without any shadow of a doubt, the hardest way to change, because you say to yourself, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to drink. Thoughts of alcohol are in your head. The fear of being deprived comes up, the fear of failure comes up, the feelings you don't like, and you use alcohol to comfort those feelings. Now, when I say alcohol isn't the problem, obviously it's become the problem. For me to say alcohol wasn't the problem in my life to my son, to myself, to everybody, is hugely disrespectful. But when you try to change what you're doing with the end result of your attempt to comfort yourself, and that's why you drink, to make yourself feel better. You don't drink to be a bitch, to be a poorer mother, a poorer partner, a more unreliable work colleague, a more unreliable member of society on any level at all. You do it with the intention of making yourself feel better. And just for now, you have a belief that it does make you feel better. Whilst that belief is in place, you cannot change the way you drink by not picking up the wine glass. You cannot do that. It's so hard. And the worse you feel, the more your need for feeling better is. Does that make sense? You drink to make yourself feel better. You have a thought about alcohol, about yourself, about not having it, that creates a feeling you don't like. They energize each other. It goes into a, shitstorm in your head. To calm it down, you go through that glass. That's the reason you drink. That's the sole reason you drink. And that's the reason why every attempt to stop drinking by stopping with the end result is not going to work. Or it's not going to work for long. It's certainly not going to last. I know that. That's the way I lived for a very long time. So there is a process you go through every time you drink in a way you don't want to. You have a thought that creates a feeling that you react to. That's what happens. So when you use willpower to try to change the way you drink, you're not going to, because again, you're saying to yourself, I'm not going to do something that for now represents comfort on whatever level you're looking for it, whether it's peace, whether it's rest, whether it's connection, whatever it is, whether it's time out, whether it's to end the business day and then go into home mode, or whatever. You try to use your willpower to say, I'm not going to do it. Now, the thing about willpower is a form of control. You only need to use willpower to stop yourself doing something you really want to do. If you didn't really want to do it, you wouldn't need willpower. And again, because they all loop back together, you are trying to comfort yourself with alcohol in intention. It's not the result. It is absolutely the intention. So willpower is not what you want. It will never work because you are denying yourself comfort. You are denying yourself comfort. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I really hope it does. So what can you do? You can ask yourself what you're looking for. You can ask yourself what you're looking for. When the thoughts of alcohol come up, instead of trying to, what am I looking for right now? I don't want alcohol necessarily. What am I looking for right now? What am I looking for right now? And if alcohol comes up, then you say, okay, for what purpose? In a kind way, in a loving way, in a gentle way. Use your thoughts to calm your feelings. When you calm your feelings, you do not need to react and grab hold of alcohol. You don't need to drown yourself in wine or vodka or whatever it was. Whatever it is, for me it was vodka. So when the thoughts come up, and the feelings come up, you just ask yourself, what am I looking for? What am I looking for right now? What do I need right now? Write it down. Take what's going on in your head down onto a piece of paper and look at it. I need a rest. Okay, what can I do? I need some quiet time. Okay, how can I deliver that to myself? I need to talk to someone. Okay, what can I arrange? When you change the way you think, the feelings die down. When you deliver yourself what you really need, and it's always something that's lacking within you, not lacking in you, lacking within you, within your life. You don't need willpower. You just need to deliver what you're looking for. Now, obviously, in the middle of a busy day at work, you ask yourself, what am I looking for when the thoughts of alcohol come up? I'm feeling really stressed. I need to rest. I haven't had enough sleep. Whatever comes up, you write it down. You can't go and lie down on the office floor. I doubt very many of you can. You can acknowledge it, and you can promise it yourself for later. And if you deliver it, you will notice that the need that you've attached to alcohol dies down. You don't crave alcohol. You crave what is missing, lacking, innocently lacking within you. That's what you're craving. When you deliver those things to yourself, and they are never things that you can't deliver, they are never ever things that you can't deliver, you don't need willpower, because you don't need control, because you've delivered what you need, and so you don't need alcohol. Does that make sense? This is 100% what goes on with absolutely every one of us. Okay, so the next thing, you have your alcohol habit. You want to break your habit. A little one bites its nails, his or her nails, not because they taste delicious, because they don't, for comfort. That's why they do it. And they develop a habit of biting their nails for comfort. So they develop a way of delivering comfort themselves. And then they grow older and their boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't like it, and they know they shouldn't be doing it, and they know their nails look terrible, and the worse they feel, the more they bite their nails, because they're looking for comfort. So you can't break something that in intention offers you comfort. You can't abuse yourself and expect something to change. You can't talk harshly to yourself and say, you're weak, you're useless, the way you drink, it makes me sick, it disgusts me, I hate the way I am, I'm always going to be like this. That way will never break a habit, because the habit is there to comfort you. It's there in intention to comfort you. Again, it's not the result, it's the intention. It's always the intention. Again, ask yourself what you're looking for. Ask yourself what you're looking for. All the strategies you need to be free from the pain of your drinking are within you right now. Your pain, the pain of your drinking, exists in your lack of lack of awareness of what's going on, and then again, inability to deliver what you're actually needing. That's what's going on. So it's such a holistic, loving way of coming back to who you are, of ending your years of self-neglect, of ending your years of self-abuse. And I'm talking, I'm not even talking about the physical act of drinking, the abuse you give yourself because you can't stop drinking, and the shame you feel and the embarrassment you feel. When you feel bad, you want to drink because you've learned to associate alcohol with comfort. You can't break a habit that you believe brings you comfort. You can offer yourself comfort instead. And if you do it consistently and over and over and over again, the belief that it brings you comfort shifts, because you are showing yourself evidence of something else that does bring you comfort. And then your beliefs around alcohol will shift naturally. We hear a lot about the iceberg of our behaviours. The top bit that you see above the water is the smallest part, and it's the dark mass underneath it that's the problem. And it's absolutely true. That's our conscious and unconscious mind. But to change that dark mass underneath, the fuel, the foundation of your drinking, the hardest thing you can do is get a pickaxe and try and smash at it. You'll end up with bloodied hands, and exhausted. There is a better way, a more effective way, a gentler way, and that is to let that iceberg go in freedom and peace, is to warm the water around it. Just by a couple of degrees, you warm the water and the iceberg melts. And the warming I'm asking you to do is to bring into your awareness what is missing from your life in terms of your inner peace, your inner connection, your comfort, your self-love, whatever those things are, to deliver them to you. And in doing so, your beliefs shift and melt away, because you stop believing that alcohol brings you something, because you consistently, by doing very simple checking in, breathing exercises, lots of very little things, you shift the belief, because you're seeing something different consistently. The evidence is telling you that you don't need a drink to feel better. You do feel better. Does that make sense? And the last part about this is finding the process to freedom. Now, If you accept, which I'm sure you do, that it's a thought, feeling, reaction, thought, feeling, reaction is only ever that way round. You don't ever just shoot your hand out for a glass of wine. I'm sure most of you can identify there's been quite a lot of mind chatter going on at least for an hour before you've picked that drink up. You've gone into battle with yourself. You've fought the alcohol. Well, of course, you can't fight alcohol. You're fighting with yourself. You're fighting with your need for comfort. You're fighting with your need for comfort. And you are never, ever going to beat that battle because you are going to deliver that comfort. So accepting that it's thought, feeling, reaction, which it always is, and actually that's fantastic news. The way to effortless freedom is so simple, and that's by changing the way you think, by being aware of the thoughts that come up, observing them, not judging them, and shifting them. I see you, I hear you, I don't need you. Do not engage, do not go into battle. And that to you might sound, yeah, well, that's all well and good, but how can I do it? One of the only things that you have any control over, and every control over in your life, is your thinking. It is probably the only thing you do have complete control over. The issue at the moment is, and just for now, that you are unaware, or you were until you started watching this, of what is causing your alcohol mindstorm, your alcohol chaos. You believe that it's alcohol. Well, alcohol can't call to you. It can't talk to you. You don't crave it. But in not knowing what you're craving, what you're lacking, you have learnt to believe that alcohol delivers something to you. And of course, when you were younger, it probably did. Well, it will have done, otherwise you wouldn't have developed that belief. When you were, for instance, for me, I was not very confident, so I'd have a couple of glasses of wine, I'd feel more confident. Maybe I even felt sexier, I don't know. I'm trying to think, actually. But at some point, it brought you something, and you believed it. And you've believed it, and you stuck with that belief, innocently stuck with that belief. It's gone into your unconscious mind, which controls 98% of your behavior. It's a powerful, strong belief. And that belief, when you feel bad, there is that, it brings me something, it brings me something, it brings me something, so you turn to alcohol. For that belief to kick in, you have to be thinking first. You think, you feel, you act. You think, you feel, you act. It's always 100% that way. So for effortless freedom, and it is effortless, it is about not trying to break anything, not trying to force anything, not trying to control anything. It's about letting it go, shifting your thinking, even if it's something as small as when those alcohol thoughts come up and you think to yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's my want for alcohol? 10. For instance, say you've got a child, like my son. I have the most wonderful memories of him standing on the swimming pool when he was 4, me teaching him to swim, and him shouting, "Geronimo, mummy, don't move back, and me moving back just a couple of steps so that he would swim out to me. And when I think of those thoughts, when I think of my son, my Christopher, like that, the feelings inside me, it brings up of warmth and joy and love. I've changed my thinking, I've changed my feeling, I've changed my need to react. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope you've enjoyed this short video. Please let me know if you have. The rapid alcohol recovery method is a life-changing process. It's a life-changing process in every way, because we can't compartmentalize our lives much as we might like to think we can. What hurts us in one area hurts us in every area. What makes us feel good in one area makes us feel good in every area. And I can tell you now that my life, since I've not been drinking, has been a journey, which I'm still on, of joy, not like woo all the time, I've been like that, of peace and connection and balance and love and self-love that was missing during my drinking years. I wanted to stop drinking to be the mother my son deserved. I wanted to be sober so badly, and I didn't even know what sober was. And my God, even when I think now about what sober was, it doesn't even touch the sides to what it is. 98% of my clients, 99% of my clients actually don't want to never drink again. I've had clients that have been to rehab, spent over £200,000, God bless them, on rehab, been to rehab more than once, 3 times. One lady has been. They've done this 6-week program and they are able to drink occasionally because there's nothing wrong with alcohol. Alcohol's not the problem. It's become the problem, of course, but it's not the problem that needs to be addressed. That what needs to be addressed is the process, the thinking, feeling process you go through. So they still have a glass of champagne at a wedding or something like that, or a couple of drinks on a Saturday night, because they don't need to drink it. They don't crave it. It's a different liquid entirely. That is what the rapid alcohol recovery method offers you. It offers you freedom without willpower, without control, without boundaries. It gives you love and peace and connection and balance. In the place where all those exist, you are resilient, you are the amazing superwoman you were born to be, you are able, there is nothing that you can't do, and there's very little that you don't want to do. That there's no more saying yes when you don't mean yes. There's no more of that, because you feel so differently about yourself. Being free from alcohol changes the way you view yourself completely, and it changes the way others view you as well. And the reason for that is what we perceive about ourselves is what we project out, and that's what other people react to. One of the other things that all my clients say, this isn't even 98%, 99%, all of them, their home life is more peaceful. They cope better with work. And they still like to have an occasional drink. So if you would like to take this life-changing opportunity, and it is life-changing, I am so proud of the rapid alcohol recovery method. I'm so proud of what I created. I love seeing the change in my clients, the understanding, those light bulb moments that just go ping, ping, ping. And they're just like, okay. Changing the way you drink is not hard. At the moment, and for God knows how long, you have been pushing really hard with all your might and on a door that needs a gentle pull open. You just haven't seen the sign. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you've got any questions, please let me know. The rapid alcohol recovery method will change your life. It is how I am effortlessly sober. I don't drink because it's just a choice I've made. Most of my clients, as I say, they just don't want the need. They don't want the craving, and they don't want the craving because they've got what they crave, and what they craved was them. Love and respect you all, and be very kind and gentle with yourself.